The United States is facing pressures in Iraq over its controversial military presence in the country. Iraqi MPs this past Thursday demanded that the government devise a timetable for the withdrawal of American troops that have been stationed there under the pretext of fighting Daesh terrorists. A US-led coalition was formed in 2014 to fight Daesh and has thousands of troops deployed in Iraq. And now, with the fight against the terrorists largely over now, there appears to be little justification for the foreign troops to stay. But in order to realize what is specifically pushing the Iraqis to demand Americans out, one will have to look at the history of the US military presence in the country. A history which is full of accounts of occupation, destruction and civilian deaths.
It's natural that the Iraqi population would want the U.S. out. When you total up the amount of civilian deaths, soldier and civilian deaths that the U.S. occupation and invasion has caused, it totals up about 750,000 people. So the illegal invasion of Iraq that my country unfortunately undertook under Bush and Cheney has caused so many widows and orphans that I think that there's going to be long-term damage that we are responsible for.
The overwhelming vote by the Iraqi Parliament against the US military presence in the country is believed to have certain strong political implications. Analysts believe it was a message from the Iraq people to the Americans that they are running short of patience with the presence of US troops in Iraq. And that is already reviving a debate over the US occupation of Iraq, an occupation that many believe was merely meant to serve Washington's economic gains as well as certain strategic regional goals.
We have to remember that internationally, an entire globe was protesting the Iraqi invasion. All across the country, we had massive movements in almost every city. Right around 2003, when Bush and Cheney did this illegal invasion. Cheney, remember, promised that they would be greeted as liberators, and that didn't happen. Instead, there was massive resistance to the U.S. invasion and occupation of Iraq. The neoconservatives in this country, working with the dual citizen Zionist element in our country, working with the U.S. military-industrial complex, made a lot of money. Dick Cheney's company, Halliburton, made about $40 billion in revenue for the illegal invasion and occupation of Iraq. If you total that up with the total number of U.S. soldier deaths, that's about $8 million in revenue per soldier that was killed in Iraq. And again, the real death toll is on the Iraqi population side. Our country, the United States of America, unfortunately committed genocide and killed about 750,000 people in Iraq.
Some believe the anti-US sentiment which is growing in Iraq could sooner or later spread to other countries in the region where Washington has a strong military presence. This could eventually undermine America's role in the region, a role which is believed to have already been ruined as a result of the wars it launched in Iraq and Afghanistan and is now trying to spread to other crisis points like Syria.
As internationally in the Middle East, across the Arabic and Islamic worlds, our country has been seen as an imperialist power when it could be something very different. The United States has damaged its reputation internationally. We should be the country of intelligence, peace, nonviolent conflict resolution, kind of an international fraternity. We're the country that has hosted the United Nations. The United Nations is supposed to be this international body that prevents the scourge of war.
A look at the hawkish positions of the current US administration provides little hope that America's plan to continue the old wars and those concerning new ones would change. With that, one should expect the anti-US sentiment which already prevailed in the region to grow only stronger over time. And there is no need to say that the Americans will suffer as a result of this as well.